everyone, this is Joanne Cohen, founder of naturallyprosperous.com, and I work with women who are challenged by various hormonal and reproductive health issues to step into and claim their role as healthy feminine leaders. And so today I'm coming to you because it's Q&A Wednesday, and I actually love the questions that I'm receiving in my email box, so keep on sending them. Today is actually an email from Anonymous, and she says, "Hi Joanne, I'm a 32-year-old woman and I've been struggling with chronic yeast infections. This is really frustrating because I know that something is quote-unquote off in my body. I'm really uncomfortable and I'm feeling disconnected with my body. I eat well and I take care of myself, but they still come and go. I really want to use natural remedies to get to the root. Please help." So thank you, whomever sent this in. I know it takes a lot of courage to have this be online, and I totally understand this can be a very, very frustrating situation, especially when you feel like you're doing all the things right. So I'm going to give a couple suggestions, and I would love at the end for anyone who's watching this to share more of what you've used. So there's a couple food things, and then we're going to move into the deeper layers. The first thing that I always recommend is just make sure that your food is organic and that you're not eating any sugar, because when there's a chronic infection, it could be that your immune system isn't functioning as properly, and so we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can do. So sugar, in this sense, for at least a month or two, we actually even want to be avoiding fruit because there's something really deep going on, and we want to kind of set the stage for your own bacteria to regrow and regroup and proliferate. So organic, no sugar, no caffeine, no dairy. Of course, no smoking too, but I'm kind of just assuming that people don't smoke as much anymore. Those are kind of the basic foundations. Then we move on to probiotic-rich foods, because if there's some infection, there's probably an overgrowth of unfriendly bacteria, and so we need to proliferate the good, juicy bacteria that's going to help you make you feel better. So taking a probiotic supplement can be great, but only half of what you're ingesting actually gets absorbed, and we also don't know how much your body is working well in the assimilation process. So we want to use food as our medicine. So eating, whether you make it yourself or you buy it in the store, you can get raw fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, or create your own at home with carrots and beets and cabbage and whatever else you want to throw in there. I would also recommend drinking coconut kefir or a probiotic tonic, because again, when there's infection, we want to make sure that your good bacteria is taking over again and helping the body to work better. So we have foods, probiotics, and now moving on to herbs. So there's a lot of herbs that I would suggest to use. Of course, anything that can help with an overgrowth of yeast, like cat's claw, but also we want to help if there's any infection, so golden seal or Oregon grape root. And of course we want to help the immune system to fight off infections, so echinacea or garlic. All of these are pretty simple, easy herbs to find. And of course, anytime we use herbs internally, we also want to use them topically wherever we're having an issue. So for a chronic vaginal yeast infection, you could do a tea and make that into a douche, or you can actually use a sitz bath, which is where you literally create a bath that you sit in, and it's just a localized bath. And in both of those, you want to use herbs that are not only healing to the tissue, but really soothing, because a yeast infection can be really irritable. So marshmallow root, comfrey leaf, calendula flowers, lavender, those are all lovely to use. And then lastly, the thing that is most important in my work is coming to the root. Is there an undercurrent of emotions that's actually creating this situation? So when I work with somebody who's having a chronic issue, there's always an emotional root. And so because I don't know this person's whole story, I'm just going to throw out a couple different things. when you have a yeast infection, or really anything that's infected, irritated, inflamed, it can also mean there's anger in the system. And because anger has that same kind of like irritated, inflamed. And women, most of us don't learn how to express their anger. So it could be that somewhere along the line, you learned that you needed to push that anger down and just be like a good little girl, or a nice woman, whatever it is. So first thing I would do is check in to see if there's any anger in there. And then the second thing I would do is just look in to see if there's any feminine wounding, like feeling betrayed. Maybe you're in a relationship with somebody and it's actually not feeling safe. Maybe you've been hurt by somebody that you loved, male or female. This can manifest in all different parts of our bodies. So please check in with your emotional state and the relationships that you are participating in. So if that was helpful, I would love to hear from you. Did you learn something new? Do you have anything else to share? Have you used anything else? Because I know there's a whole host of old herbal remedies and things that have been passed down from generation to generation that women have been using to really help them, like putting a garlic clove inside and helping that to kill off any infection and yeast that's in the vagina. So let me know. I'd love to hear from you, and I will see you next time on Q&A Wednesday.